What's up, guys and girls? Jesse here, looking to aid you in your growth journey. So this is actually my first video. I've been spending my life just gathering data, and I'm finally looking to share that with you guys to help you guys in your growth journey. So I feel like the most appropriate place to start is, how do you start your growth journey? And that's obviously a loaded question. There's so many different answers to this, but I believe easiest is best. So what do we need to do is the first thing. Our lives are jam-packed as it is. You know what that's like. You work, you come home, you probably shovel food in your face, eat, maybe jump into your comfort consumption, whatever that is, whether it be YouTube, playing video games, and then you go to bed because you have no energy. So that's the first thing we need to do, is make space for growth with time and energy. It's the only way to make room for it. And of the two, the first place to start is actually energy. Because what we do is, when we don't have energy, we will fill our time with those comfort consumptions because our brain is just spent. We're not going to go and do things that are going to grow us. We're just, our brain is just, oh my gosh, I got nothing left to give. Let me just put myself in front of this mindless thing and, just release some dopamine to make you feel happy. And that's just the way the brain works. So in order to counteract that, we need to do things that are going to give us energy. So that gets back to this main point of just like, okay, so out of all these things, where is that one place to start? So knowing that, it's getting energy for growth during the day. And the one thing I would recommend for that is, if you had to start with exactly one thing, it's reading at night before you go to bed. And there's a few different reasons why that is the thing I would recommend to start with. But first, you need to read something that's it's not just entertainment, so no fiction. Read something that you're actually interested in learning about. So your first part of the growth is actually, you need to read a little bit, if you can every day, but at least just start somewhere with maybe just once or twice a week. Start by, normally if you're watching videos or playing a video game and you're like, hey, well, I kind of want to go to bed in like an hour, stop what you're doing, go get into bed, turn your, lamp on or whatever in the room that you don't want it too bright, and just sit down with your book. And what this does actually is, when we're in front of our screen, it induces these certain brain waves that actually keep us awake. It's letting our body know, hey, this isn't sleep time, this is doing time, this is awake time. So the first thing that fights is, by not looking at a screen in that last hour before bedtime, it's going to tell your body, hey, we're winding down, we're chilling, it's time to actually start getting ready for bed. So by reading, you actually let your body get ready to go to sleep, rather than just watching something on a screen, which is going to keep you up until you're completely just exhausted and bankrupt at 2 a.m, and then you're just going to collapse out of sheer just being bankrupt of energy. So this is important for several reasons. So first off, it starts your journey on growth, because part of growth is learning. You need to learn, you need to get to the point where you're learning every day. But for now, just start with a couple nights a week. Pick that book that's really speaks to you. Like right now for me, I'm reading Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, and it's a great book. This is my second time through it. And what I recommend is, I'm not taking notes on this book. It is a thick book, but I just underline parts that speak to me and are meaningful to me. So what I do at night, say it's like 8:30 or 9, my girlfriend goes to bed early, so I usually go in there shortly after her at like 9, and then I will just turn my bedside light on, and then I will read this book with a pen and just underline the things that, are important to me. But what it does is that during that hour I'm reading, my body is slowly shutting down because it's not looking at a screen. The brain isn't being told, like, oh, it's up time right now, it's awake time right now. And then once you get to that point where you'll start yawning, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm actually ready to go to bed. And that point, you get up, brush your teeth, and then you're all set. And what this will do is, it'll help you just get to bed at a reasonable time, and it will prevent you trying to go to sleep and laying there and your thoughts racing, because your body's not actually in sleep mode. You're in this mode of just like, oh, I'm awake time, and you're trying to fight that by just like shutting all the lights off and laying in bed, but your mind is racing around a million miles an hour. So that's why one of the most crucial and easiest things you can do is just reading at night before you go to bed. lulling your body into that state where it's ready for rest. So that way, when you do close your eyes and try to go to sleep, you're not fighting these thoughts racing. You're actually just gonna realize that you're falling asleep pretty much immediately. And it's something that, I think it was big, more prevalent back in the day, and we may have lost that now because we're so attached to our screens. But that's just the first place to start, is just doing that. And what you'll notice is over time, you're not rolling and tossing and turning and thinking about your worries at night. You're going to bed quicker. And what that does, it will just get you that little bit of extra energy in your day. So if you do this for a month, maybe, start off with 2 times a week, and then you'll realize it's actually enjoyable. Do it more and more. So it becomes a daily routine to just read before you go to bed. It's just this simple habit actually unlocks a lot of different potential in you, because you'll notice that, when you go to work the next day, you have more energy, and then that energy will carry over into, you now have more energy over the week. And then that's where you can start, because once you have that energy, then you can actually be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to just sit around and play video games or watch videos this evening. I'm feeling pretty good. Let me do 1 set of push-ups. And then you can start by doing these other aspects of growth, but it starts with making the space for it. And in order to make the space, that starts with creating a little bit of energy in your day to have that space to then grow. So I hope this, was helpful to you and gives you guys a place to start, because, growth is power. Becoming the best version of yourself is powerful and brings happiness. I know it has to me, and that's why I'm here finally sharing with you guys, because I just want to share this incredible experience I have and what I built for myself. And, it all starts with, well, where do I take my first baby step? So read a little bit at night before you go to bed. It starts your path on learning, because learning is a part of growing every time. And it also just gets you ready for sleep, so you're not wasting your time trying to sleep but not sleeping. And that will infuse your life with this newfound energy. And then you can use that energy to do the things you want to do and unlock your true potential. All right, well, have a great day. Later, guys.